On topic 3, section 2, translations. Okay, translations are a slide, like a sliding motion yesterday when we did. Just a second, I do have it. It was frozen. Okay, it's a sliding motion, just like we talked about yesterday, the cup sliding across the table in our vocabulary. So we have a translation. Is a transformation in a plane that maps all points of a pre-image the same distance and the same direction. So our picture here, you can see we have our pre-image is the black and it goes down. Now you could say the pre-image is the red and it would go up, yes? And if we look at these points, let's look at B. From B to B prime, I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I went over 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have done 4. So I went -4, -6, right? Because I went negative both directions. So if I do C, should I have the same thing? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, my -4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my translation here would be T for what? Translation. And the rule would be -4, -6. Now you notice those aren't parentheses. They're like little V's. Okay? Well, like they're inequalities almost. Okay? That's just how they use them. Okay? So,
is it on both sides?
Yes, it is on both sides, this one. Okay. Let me write it better. So this translation would be T, and then the subscript -4, -6, always XY. The movement on the X, the movement on the Y. Okay? So a translation is a what kind of motion?
Sliding.
Sliding, but it's a rigid.
Oh.
Rigid motion. So, what stays the same?
Shape.
Nope. Size. Okay, or length, right? And that would be size. I'm using the same words they have, right? Length and
Width are the same.
Angle measurement.
Oh.
And I should have given you two when I angle measure are, and what is the word they keep using instead of the same?
Equal.
No. Well, they are.
Congruent. I don't know.
Starts with P.
Parallel. Oh.
Preserved, which is the same. Now, the reason I put this on in there again like that is because yesterday on your lesson quiz, they asked you what is preserved, right? They asked you that question, and some people say, what's preserved mean? What does preserved mean? The same.
It's like preserving meat.
Yes,
Yeah, like
preserving meat or vegetables or anything. So I'm going to keep putting that on there so we can get that right on the test, right? Hopefully. Okay. So we have an example. It says find the image of the translation EFG, and there's the points. And I wasn't going to give you a graph, and then I had plenty of room, so I decided we're going to graph the one on the left, and on the right, we're just going to write the points, the vertices of the image. Okay? So probably should be, let's graph triangle EFG first. Let's graph it so we can see it. Okay? So I'm going to do my EFG in black there. Okay, so -5, 4. And then -1, 5. And then -2, -1. What?
I'm having like a seizure. My body is like shaking.
You okay?
I don't know.
And then obviously it's a triangle. How do I know this is a triangle before they even tell me?
Because it's 3 sides.
Because it's 3 vertices, which would make 3 sides.
And plus it has the triangle symbol.
Yes, I said before they tell me that.
Those lines aren't straight.
Okay, so this is E, F, and G. So what is my translation rule? And how do I know it's translation?
Because the T.
It's a T. And when I typed this, I didn't. You need to fix that. This should be like those arrow things. Yes? Fix it. Okay, it's a T for translation. So every point is going to change how many X's?
6.
6. And how many Y's?
Negative.
Negative 7. So we'll start with G. How about that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right here is G prime. Now, could I do the Y first if I wanted to? Would it matter?
No.
No, but I gotta remember it's listed X, Y, correct? That's why I always do it. Okay, so then E good? So I gotta go over 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to be E prime. Where is F prime going to fall? Just tell me.
It's gonna be. Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's gonna be 5, -2.
You guys agree? 5, -2? Okay, so let's check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at 5, -2.
Oh, I did that wrong. I mean, it's correct, but I did that wrong.
How'd you do it?
I went back and I counted how many from, like, since we already had E, I went back up to E and I was like, okay, so it's 1 up and then it's 1, 2, 3,
Oops.
4 over. So then I went from 3, went 1 up and then went.
Yeah, you should definitely not do that because if you messed up E,
Yeah.
definitely don't do that.
Right.
Okay, so I split it. Does everyone see how it's exactly the same way? You eaten this morning?
No. Yes, actually I did, but I don't know what's wrong. My body is like shaking.
Get up and go take a drink of water. Just move a little.
Don't do anything.
Because you don't feel
I was
dizzy or
just-
anything, right?
Maybe you
But
fall
no.
over in the hole.
Okay, so do you see how that slides?
You can't even get a drink of water.
Oh, you can't.
Stupid. I think the office
got to
gives
that.
you cups.
But okay, he just needed to move a little, I think. So we have it, we slid. And you can see my little motions of my dots. They mirror that sliding, right? Now, I counted all that. Do I have to count it?
Yes, so you're correct.
Well, I'm not going to graph these. I'm not going to graph 11-2. Fix your 11-2 sign.
Hold on.
If it's positive 11, all I'm going to do is add 11 to every x, correct?
What about the 2 then?
I just got used to what we're doing now.
It's the same thing. When I have this,
Wait, what was it? Negative.
okay, I'm going to show you something here. Okay, what is the point on E? E
One.
prime.
-3.
What is it?
1, -3.
1, -3. Okay, what is G prime?
4, -8.
4, -8.
5,
What is-
-2.
5, -2. Oops.
Whoa, what the heck?
What are you doing, Jake?
Okay, so I did translate 6, -7. So what that means I'm going to do is take x plus 6 and y minus 7. That's all I'm going to do. So let's make sure we did it right. So E was -5, 4, yes? E is -5, 4. So this says I add 6 and subtract 7. So -5 plus 6 is what? -5 plus 6.
Okay, so I gotta keep it
One.
with 1.
1. 4 minus 7.
3.
-3. Is that what we got?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So-
impressive.
G was -2,
1.
-1. So add 6, subtract 7. So 4,
Negative.
-8. Is that what we got?
Yes.
So do we have to count?
Yeah. I mean, no.
No. You just have to do the math to each of them. So over here, what am I going to do to my x's?
At 11.
Add 11. So it's going to be x plus 11, comma, y what?
Plus 2.
Plus 2. That's it.
I don't get it.
So when I have
Counting is
e
easy.
prime
I'm just gonna
is going to equal -5 plus 11, comma, 4 plus 2. Which is what?
6.
6 and 6.
6 and 6. So f prime, starting with f, right, is -1 plus 11, comma, 5 plus 2. Because I'm just using 11 and 2 and right there. So -1 plus 11 is
Good.
10
Oh.
and 7. This is E prime, I guess I put down this side too. Oh, it's not E, it's E prime. And this is F prime. Now, you guys do G prime, try it on your own.
Did it.
That's not happening to you.
Okay, what's G?
-2, -1.
Oh.
Okay, and my rule is 11, 2.
11.
9,
So it's -2 plus 11, comma, -1 plus 2.
So it's 9 and 1.
So G prime equals 9, 1.
Can I just count over there?
Well, but you're not going to have a grid every time.
And then I don't.
Keep working on it. You're just, whatever
I can't keep
rule,
working on it if I don't know
Okay.
how to do it.
so it, whatever this is your rule is 11 and 2. Yes? This is an X, this is a Y. They're both positive. So whatever your X is, you add 11. Whatever your Y is, you add 2. So what is -5 plus 11?
6.
6. What is 4 plus 2?
6.
Nicole.
Sorry.
6. And so you do it to the next point. You have -1, you have -1 plus 11, and 5 plus 2.
Is there a negative if you subtract it?
Yes, if it was a negative, you would subtract it. Like over here, we subtracted, because we
Oh,
made
yeah.
7. You just add or subtract to your X and Y.
How did you? Why are you for
Yes.
-2 and 5 next point for G? Why did you not add 11 to -2 and not negative and -1?
I did. I have -2 plus 11.
Oh, I was looking at F.
Okay. I have -2 plus 11 and -1 plus 2. Okay. Desiree, you good with this? Cole?
Yep.
Tyson?
No.
Okay, what's bothering you about it? No, that's not an answer.
Then I don't have an answer.
Okay.
He just
Do you
not get it.
understand that 211 is my rule, what I'm going to be translating?
Tyson, you just add 11 and 2 to whatever.
Whatever this is right here is your rule.
I will get.
And you add it to your,
And so they're both positive, so you're going to add them to your x and your y.
Okay, I see it.
Okay, so this is my rule over here, which was 6, -7. So I added 6 to all my x's and subtracted 7 from all my y's.
Why did you subtract?
Because it says -7. If it's positive, I add. If it's negative, I subtract.
If I bring my own graph paper, can I do it easier?
Yes.
If it's on my homework, I will never.
Okay, now I want the rule. So, I gave you the rule. Now you got to give me the rule. I give you the picture. Yes, Cole.
It's 1/4.
Okay, so it's T.
Is the red the.
The red is the prime.
Okay.
And it wouldn't really matter. You would just have your positive and negatives messed up.
Can I
So-
have a bathroom?
Right in
You
the
can't make it
middle
through
of
here?
explaining something.
So, Cole, you said it was T. So, translate what? What did you say?
1/4.
1,
What did he
Comma-
get it for?
just a second. Okay, 1/4. So I'm moving the black to the red. If it was 1/4, I would go up.
You're moving the black to the red.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were moving red to the black.
No, black to the red.
Then it would be -1, -4.
-1, -4. So this is the black to the red. Okay? So I would go back 1 on my X and down 4 on my Y. What if I wanted red to black?
Well, it would be 1/4 because you're going up
So we
positive
1, 4.
You're going over 1.
actually you go over, then you go up.
Yeah, you go, yes. You
Just
do X, and then up 4.
The way I remember it is
But
it's
it
like a
shows
ladder.
on
You want to
there the
move the ladder
opposite
before
way.
you go up it.
That would make sense. Yep.
On the paper, it shows the opposite way, doesn't it?
No.
You go up and then over. The dotted lines.
Well, it's just a dotted line.
Yeah.
But prime is always the one that's been moved. Prime is the image, and prime is the
okay.
pre-image.
Okay.
So, does it make a difference which one you're moving?
No.
No.
Yes, it
Yeah,
makes a big
Yes.
difference.
The numbers were the same, but one was negative, one was positive. So you have to make sure you know which one you're moving to which. How do I know I was moving the black to the red?
Is black? Is black is the original?
Right, the black is the original, it doesn't have the prime, right?
Mhm.
And the red has the prime.
The
So
red
we
has
have
the
the
prime.
black is the pre-image, and the red is the image.
I know the red has a prime. Oh, it has a little thing.
Because it
Yeah.
has a.
I was like,
Okay, so on the next one, am I moving black to red or red to black?
Black to red.
Black to red. So try that one on your own. Black to red. Somebody else, Cole.
ooh,
I'm gonna pick on Desiree. Okay, Desiree, how am I going to go from the black to the red? Okay. Okay. How am I gonna go from black to red?
You gotta go up 3 and over 5.
Up 3 and over 5, but I have to write it 5, 3?
Yeah.
Okay. I always have to do my x first because we look at a point and see x, y, right? Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Oh, up 2. She just counted wrong. Okay. We have to always put it x, y because that's how we read a point, don't we? We read points x, y. Questions? Okay. A composition of rigid motions I could spell right, I'd be doing great. I spelled wrong.
Oh, well. Same thing.
Is a transformation with 2 or more rigid motions in which the second rigid motion is performed on the image of the first rigid motion.
Following those names.
Okay, that's why I have the diagram underneath it. Okay, so what's R stand for?
Rigid.
Nope.
Rotation.
Nope. I'm an rotation.
Reflection.
Reflection. Yes. What's T stand for?
Translation.
Translation. Okay. First, before we do that, it says this motion uses a small open circle to indicate the composition. Do you see how that circle's open? That's not multiplication, that's composition. Okay? They were combining 2 functions. Okay, so what I do first is I translate it. You always do the second thing
Why can't I go first? Then?
because it doesn't work that way. Doesn't work. And if there's 6 things, you start at the far right and you work your way backwards.
What is the point of that? I got taught to read that.
Well, we're not reading. Okay, so first I'm going to do what?
T.
T, what's T? Translate it. X, how many units?
2.
Negative 2. Y, how many units?
5.
5. And then when we're done translating, we were going to reflect it over line L. Okay? So that's what that says. When you do a composition, you always perform them from right to left. Think about parentheses. You do the inside first, correct? So I could be putting those in parentheses. In algebra, composition of functions look like f of g of h of I of x. That's a lot of them, okay? So that means I do I of x into h, then I take my answer and put it into g, and I take that answer and put it into f,
What?
okay?
That's
It's always inside out. That's a lot. That's a lot, but that's how it works. Always inside out. Okay, so composition means we're going to do more than one thing. In learning a new dance, Kyle moves from position A to position B, and then to position C. What is the one single transformation that describes Kyle's move from position A to C? So we're going to write it as a composition first because he went to position what first? No, he started at A, then he went to B,
And then you see.
and then he went to C. So we're going to write it as a composition first. So let's think of this as like 0, 0. This right here is 0, 0. Okay? That's our x-axis. X and y-axis. So A is at 0, 0. And he's going to go to where first? B. And what is B? This is 0, so it'd be 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. So what would that translation be? T of what?
T over 2, 2.
T 2, 2. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And then he goes from B, which is at 2, 2, to where? C, which is
3.
so 1, 2, 3, 1. So what translation was that? I went from 2 to 3
Positive.
plus 1,
Um,
and I went from 2 to 1
minus 1.
minus 1. Okay? See that what just happened? I just figured out what I did, right? So what I actually have here is the composition of T, translate 1, negative 1, composed of the translation 2, 2. Because which one do we do first?
What's the second one?
The second one. And it's on, we'll just say on Kyle, but we'll put X, Y because we're doing it on the X and the Y, right? So, and this we kind of see as big parentheses. I think they put it in parentheses. So now it says we want to write it as how many transformations? What, a single one, right? So I want one single translation. So when I went when I did this, right, on X, Y, that would mean I would have X plus 2, comma, Y plus 2, wouldn't it? Yes?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I have 2, 2. Whatever X and Y is, I would do 2, 2. Now we're following. Then I have to do what my answer is. I have to do this too, correct? So then I have T of 1, negative 1 on my answer. What's my answer? X plus 2, comma, Y plus 2. So what does this tell me I'm doing with my X's? Adding how much? 1. So what's 2 plus 1?
3.
3. Comma. And what am I doing with my Y's? Subtracting 1, yes.
Oh, yeah, I put a 2 on my.
Right? This is subtract 1.
Yeah.
So 2 minus 1 is what? 1. And if it was a negative, we'd put a negative, right? So my rule, because I performed this right here, I did this, and then I took my answer and put it into there, didn't I?
Yeah.
So my rule to get is just T of what? 3, 1 on X, Y. Now, if I went 3, 1 from A, would I end up at C?
Maybe you did what?
If I did 3, 1 from A, would I end up on C?
Yeah.
Yes. Now it doesn't, I said let's make A 0, 0 to make this easier. Could it have been 7, 8?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
because if this is 7, 8, this would be 8, 9, 10, 9. So this should be 10, 9, right? Well, does this math give me 10, 9? 7 plus 3 is what? 10.
Yeah.
8 plus 1 is 9. So wherever I fall in the floor, this allows me to tell where I'm going to end up, basically. That make sense? So we had him dancing, but now the next two examples I'm just going to give you. Like, we're not going to have to make this. I'm just going to give you that. Okay? Okay, so I have, so this is a composition because I have a big open circle, right? Well, not big, little. I'm going to do this first and then put my answer into what? The other one. So I have t of 1 minus 1 on xy. What does it tell me I'm doing to my x's? Adding 1. What am I doing to my y's? Subtracting 1. Connor. So that would be x plus 1 and y minus 1. So my next rule is t, translate 3, negative 2. I'm not on xy anymore, I'm on what?
Oh, x plus 1, y minus
X plus 1, y minus 1. I'm putting that into this one. So what am I doing to my x's? Adding 3. How do I know I'm adding? Because it's no negative, it's a positive, right? So there's already a 1 there, so now it's x plus what? 4. Now what am I doing with my y's?
Subtracting
Subtracting 2. How do I know I'm subtracting?
the negative.
It's negative. And it's already a negative 1, so a negative 1 and a negative 2 is a negative
Negative
3. So this whole thing, if I do it as a single, is t sub what? 4, negative 3. Biggest thing is you have to remember which one you do first. Which one do you do first?
Second one.
Second one.
For some reason.
How it works. It's basically in parentheses. So you always have to do parentheses first. Okay, so what am I going to do first on the next one?
T saying negative 2, 5.
So t, negative 2, 5
You go like
on xy, right?
2,
So what am I doing to my x's? Adding or subtracting?
Minus.
I'm subtracting how much? 2. What am I doing to my y's?
Adding
Adding how much?
5.
5. Now I take my answer and put it in where?
Negative 4.
Negative
0.
4, 0. So I have translation of negative 4, 0 on x minus 2, comma, y plus 5. So what am I doing to my x's? Subtracting 4, right?
Yeah.
So I have x minus 6. And what am I doing to my y's? Adding 0, right? So it's still going to be y what? Plus 5. And so the whole thing equals
negative 6, 5.
negative 6, 5.
Actually, how did you do?
You just have to, as long as you put it into the correct one first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so your assignment today is 4 through 9. That's it. 118, 4 through 9. So you should get that done in class. And you're practicing what we've done.
There we go.
Do these really take that long?
Yeah.
Do you want me to put the book up?
No.
Well, you only have 4 through 9, so tonight's a practice.